I like how this thing just started. Hold on. I like how it just started. Okay. Hey, Raw Canvas, it's Tony. How are you? It's been a while. I'm checking in. So, this video, I decided to do most of my channels uploads on Sundays. It just makes more sense for me. And hopefully I can be more consistent on this channel. We'll see. Anyway, but one of the main things I wanted to talk about, hopefully this is a brief video, is that I have to recalibrate my art and where I'm going with it and figure out all the like details of like where I'm going with my future artistic career endeavors and stuff like that. I kind of realized I'm probably not going to be a full-time artist practicing and working and making all of my money from my art. So that being said, I made the decision after an artist market where I made one sale and it wasn't even art, it was for tarot, that I wasn't going to engage with being an artist and making art and attending every vending opportunity that I could, that I have to kind of slow down and recalibrate what I want to do. The first thing is to fully establish my art like business, website, and all of that stuff and get a good base of what I actually create down. I find that I am a multidisciplinary kind of person with many different interests in terms of art, many different ways that I want to explore art in terms of like textiles, in terms of like pottery, clay, woodworking. Like I want to do like a bunch of things within art, but that also means that I have to kind of develop the environment for it, and I have to develop the voice that's going to clearly articulate what that is, and I haven't gotten there just yet. I have my collage setting stuff, I have that set up, and while I like that, this is like annoying me with this, like that was annoying me. I have like this stuff going for me, and while that's cool and I've been able to sell it and stuff like that, like I want to do more with my art and I want to develop it in many different directions, and I just feel like right now I'm limited, and it's because I feel like I don't necessarily 100% have the time to develop all these skill sets, take the courses that I would like, and develop the things. But then also I have to kind of figure out what I actually want to sell and start slowly building. So I already know the canvas board, the magnets, I'm going to keep. I'm going to develop prints. I want to develop little clay things and kind of go from there. Because I have interest in working with clay, like air dry clay, and then eventually kind of maybe getting into pottery and stuff like that, little pottery things. Nothing too like extensive, right? Getting into these things. And then just making different items. So wanting to make a little bit of candles, incense, get into sewing a little bit, things like that. Like this is, it's what I'm saying is that it's really starting to develop into a full-fledged shop, and needing to start to really think about what that means in terms of my like output and production, and how am I going to manufacture this stuff, especially if I'm a student. Do like I spend the rest of the summer making and making and making and making, that way I can just vend out all of that stuff, or like what am I going to do? And I just decided to take a step back and really think about it and plan it out, because I'm going into my final year, my MFA program, which is a creative writing program, right? Because MFAs can be like in poetry, photography, fine, you know, it's a fine arts degree, but it's specifically writing that I'm doing. And so I don't necessarily want to put a lot of stress of like trying to build up this business while I'm doing a thesis, and then I also actually work other jobs. So I'm trying to get myself together. So I decided to kind of fall back a little bit from doing all of these vending opportunities, just like the ones I like signed up to do and obligated to do, like I'm going to do. But in terms of like just every little opportunity jumping at, I'm not doing it anymore, because I just feel like there's a few issues that I'm noticing cropping up that I need to address, and it requires me stepping back. And the main one is that I need to develop a range of products, because I want a range of prices. Right now, the items that I'm selling, the price point is a little, for the markets that I'm going to, right? The markets I'm going to seem a little bit high for the customer that is there. And while I've made sales at that price point, I also am noticing a little bit of hesitancy when it comes to approaching my art, purchasing my art, and stuff like that. And so, understanding that I need to diversify the products, meaning I need to make prints of my products, which means I have to take the time to get photos of those things, get those prints made, and then sell them, right? But that requires me taking the photos, that requires me going to the printer, that requires me making sure that they're good photos and stuff like that. And I just want to make sure that that's the best quality. I do know that in many ways it's kind of like stalling, but I just don't want to have like shitty prints and stuff like that. And then another thing is just making other sorts of products like tote bags and stickers and stuff like that, and coming out with like the ideas for that development. It's going to take some time. And so I've kind of decided in my mind to really only sell like the lower tier items, the two price points that I think are more accessible for the crowds. And then when I fully get the shop that I want together, include all of these things, plus some more. Another thing that I want to do is start to get into painting, because I want to get into painting my flowers again. I feel like me using the acrylic ink markers on canvas didn't translate well in terms of value. I feel like it looks a little bit cheap, and as a result, I think people, when they see the price point of it, don't think that it's worth it. You know, I think that it's worth it, but I feel like changing up the medium will help a little bit with that. And so I'm thinking of doing like acrylic or something like that. Acrylic, pastel, something like that, to make it pop a little bit better. And that is almost like 5 o'clock here. That will help me to also enter gallery space by putting forth proposals to be in those spaces, gallery spaces, and get my name out there and sell work in that capacity. The ultimate goal is to branch out into many different forms of income, like different avenues and revenues and ways of making income. I don't see myself, like I said, being a full-time artist, but I do see myself making money from my art and getting my name out there in that way, in that capacity, because I do feel like I want to go into writing a little bit more, but I have other projects that I want to do that are design based. I'm more like coming to terms with the fact that I like design, curation, kind of things when it comes to my like career. Like I feel like being in design, writing, art space is more of my speed, and I'm starting to like realize I can't deny that any longer, and I'm starting to pick a lot of opportunities that deal more with that. And so I'm in this space also of trying to figure out what that means, and again, that also requires me to step back what I want to do. The first thing I want to do is establish like some sort of website, blog again. So I used to blog when I was younger. I have YouTube video, spaces. I have Instagram and stuff like that. I personally realized that I don't want to do Instagram in terms of my marketing. I want to have a website. I like Instagram as a resource, hub. Like, I don't like it as a place where I'm like trying to market my stuff. Like, I'll do the bare minimum for that, but I kind of feel like I would rather have a website and draw traffic there, and then pull the resources that I'm getting from Instagram and utilizing them to like enhance what I'm doing on the website. And I feel like with Instagram, especially because a lot of the algorithms shift so much for artists and just people in general, but definitely for artists, I feel like you should probably start making a website so people can know about what you're doing, because you already have to like change your settings to where it comes in chronological order and you see all your people, and then if you don't like pay for extra to get people to see your stuff and all that kind of crap, like it becomes really hard. I find that Instagram really at its best is a way for you to start finding people in similar avenues around you. I feel like it's really good for helping you find local things, really good for helping you find resources, tapping into resources like grants, resources like networks, resources like workshops, exhibitions, outings, and stuff like that, less than like actually really marketing your business. Like I feel like sometimes the marketing will come from like you being, it's really like a big, Instagram is more like a visual, more visual like LinkedIn in many ways, I find. And you can still market yourself like that, but I kind of feel like that, that way is weird and is kind of over. I told somebody recently, I was like, it's not a place where you should, I feel like Instagram, if you're still using Instagram to like just check up on what your friends are doing and stuff like that, like use another platform for that and use Instagram to start pulling resources and getting opportunities, because that's really what it's for. Like the way that it works now is it's really more for getting opportunities. I feel like TikTok is also another place where if you're not careful, you can get sucked into some bullshit. But like, if you really want to use places to learn and get information and get resources, Instagram and TikTok are really good for that. I feel like Facebook is good for connecting with people in terms of like your friends and family and stuff like that. And Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, they're more for like what you actually need to do in your job and connect with other people outside in your community and foster community and stuff like that. That's what they're used for. So I am in a space of just reevaluating a whole lot, doing a whole lot in terms of that. And I put a lot of my like projects that I wanted to do on pause as a result. And there is a big pause on a lot of stuff I want to do. So I have one thing this upcoming Friday, this upcoming Friday, I'm going to do a vending thing, and I think I have like 2 more things after that, or I signed up for like one more thing after that. There may be like 2 more like vending slots I like want to do, but other than that, I'm just not going to do it, because I'm paying out money to do some of these slots, and I'm not bringing in enough money. And part of it is because the price point of the stuff needs to shift and the variety needs to shift as well. I need to upgrade a lot of my displays. I need to upgrade a lot of products. I need to just upgrade it a lot. And I feel like that's going to take some time. So yeah, that's kind of where I am, falling back a little bit from vending. I try to come back on here a little bit more regularly, talk about my art and stuff like that. I do have a haul that I want to do for what I got from like Joann Fabrics and like Savers and stuff like that. Like Joann, as you know, like closed, but I did get some stuff while they were still open, so I want to show you guys that, and then kind of like catch up with that, because I also need to clean that out, the not kitchen, that too, the living room out, and like put stuff in its place, put stuff in its place, put somewhere, get it together, and do all that. Another thing I need to do in terms of goals is I want to get back into sewing, because that is a part component of what I want to do. But I need to kind of like relearn a lot of sewing, because like it's a mess. I kind of forgot all of my skills from what I learned last year. I'm so sorry, homegirl, that you taught me, but I kind of forgot the skills and I want to like get them together again. So yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys in the next video. I think I'll do like 2 or 3 videos for this channel and upload them on Sundays, like I said, and then it may not be every week, it may be every other week, once a month, something like that, but I'll try to be more consistent on here. It's just, I did decide to take a step back, and this channel also was never really the full main channel I was going to do. So there's that. All right, so thank you for watching A-Raw Canvas. Did I say Internet Room? I'm sorry. That's another channel I have. A-Raw Canvas. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.